hardly believe this now, but this guy next to me, just a couple years ago, about 10 years ago, he was basically at death's door, 320 pounds, addicted to food, drugs, alcohol. And now David Clark is an ultramarathoner, an author, just an all-around inspiring guy. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's go back. Talk to me about what your life was like 12 years ago.
Oh, it was absolutely unmanageable in every possible sense. You know, I was going 1,000 different directions, and I was, very young and had a lot of responsibility, owned a really big company, and I was medicating myself away from the world with drugs and alcohol and food and everything else I could think of.
And it sounded like, from reading your book, that people didn't really intervene. You were able to hide it pretty well, or just kind of manage your life pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who struggles with addiction masters the art of hiding it, or at least they think they do. And, I think people just kind of left me alone and let me try to figure it out myself.
Well, we've got some pictures of you back in the day, and you don't even look like the same
I remember that guy.
When was the moment that you said, you know what, something has to change?
You know, for me, it was just a realization that, it wasn't getting any better, and if I didn't do something to stop the process immediately, I was going to die, and that was a very, very real and very heavy thought.
And when you got in, and why running?
You know, because I hated it and it seemed impossible. And,
many people do.
You know, the emotional stakes had to be really high for me. You know, I wanted to create a new life that was, inspiring to me and worthy of big change.
And it sounds like you didn't start with like a 5K or a mile run. You went and signed up for the Denver Marathon. Yeah,
I mean, I did those things along the way. You know, I started out running 15 seconds at a time, and then walking for a minute. But I did the 5K, but marathon was really, really it. That's what I was looking for.
And then
100 milers.
Okay, and you've done a zillion of those now.
I've done several of them. I ran across Colorado in 2012, and I've done like 1,500 milers, something like that.
What do you want to say to somebody who's kind of standing in the shoes you were in 12 years ago?
You know, to not make it really big. Going back to 2005 when I started my journey, if I ever tried to map it out and plan it that I was going to become a vegan athlete and run 100 milers, it would have been too big. I would have, given up along the way. So keep it small.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Well, you are so inspiring. I cannot believe these pictures. Here's his book, Out There, A Story of Ultra Recovery by David Clark. I'm about a quarter of the way through it, almost half the way, and it's really good. It's so inspiring, and it's good for anybody battling demons or anything like that. Also, check out his website. It is thesupermanproject.org, and you reach out to addicts and things like that, right?
You know, I do. I spend a great deal of time doing that, and that's one of the things I wanted to do in the book was kind of create a blueprint, for change. Not everyone wants to lose 160 pounds or run a marathon, but everyone wants to change.
All right, thanks so much for being here.